Are you tired of trying to figure out who to play in Season 2 of Marvel Rivals? Well, don't worry, I got you covered with this tier list. Now before we start, I just want to say, just because your character is in a low tier does not mean they are a bad character. I just want to say this because, personally, I think there are no bad characters in Marvel Rivals because each character has their own unique place in every team. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and sub, and with that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, first up, I'm going to rank Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange is seen a buff in the Season 2.5 patch, and I personally think it wasn't really that, bad in Season 2. People just sort of, overlooked him. So as it stands right now, since his recent buffs, he's definitely A tier now. He's definitely a very, very viable tank. Adam Warlock, I think Adam Warlock is a nice solid B tier. He has great healing, great burst healing, great DPS, and also a great ultimate. So I think B tier is a fair place to put him. But he does have a really high skill ceiling, which is puts him down a little bit. Now Hawkeye is definitely S tier. This guy has been buffed into absolute insanity. Wasn't really a reason to buff him this much, but they did. So now he's just one of the best characters, especially in this really poke heavy meta. Since dive is non-existent, he is insanely good right now. IronMan, you're gonna start seeing a little pattern here, especially with flying characters. This guy's a jack of all trades when it comes to flying characters, so he definitely makes it into an A tier. Human Torch also, he went from S, but he did get nerfed a bit, so now he's A tier, but he's still a flying character, so he is still really high in this list. Jeff, as of right now, I'm gonna rank him with Storm because Jeff on his own is a C tier, right? But I'm gonna move him up to a B tier due to Storm because she is also an A tier DPS right now due to the team up these guys get. Because Jeff gets his ultimate so quickly due to his piercing, healing, and damage, and also Storm, they both share this insane ultimate team up, which just is completely broken because it bypasses any support ultimate, which is what makes it so overpowered. So I will definitely put them in a confident A tier right now, especially with Human Torch. Now surprisingly, Hela did get a buff this season, which is insane, which just adds to her carry potential and poke potential. So she's definitely S tier with Hawkeye right now. Loki is also S. I'm gonna put him in S because of his ultimate and healing output and survivability. Miss Fantastic, he is a solid A tier, but more on the low side. He's just the unkillable machine, and because of his recent buffs, he's just really good right now. Pains me to do this, but I think Magik is in a niche tier. I didn't want to put a D tier because there really isn't a D tier character in this game, but there is definitely a niche area, which is where Magik lies in because of how dead dive is this season. If you play dive, you are basically throwing. It is really, really difficult to play dive in this meta, especially if you don't do the right bans, because you will have a really bad ranked game as a dive. Namor, obviously A tier, definitely high A because he just completely shuts down dives again. I think Mantis is also a niche pick because she has a really good damage boost and good ultimate, but her healing output just isn't really the best. So I think I'll put her in niche. I could put her in C or even B tier because she definitely has a place with Black Widow, but I'll get to that later. Another niche character is Black Panther. I think he's the worst character in the season right now. This guy's been beaten to death basically. He is so bad this season. If you're a Black Panther main, just look for other options, I'm not gonna lie. Peni is also a niche character. She did get a lot of buffs, especially with her rocket team up, but she's still a very different niche character because of how situational her mines are. So niche is probably the best tier right now. I also want to mention again, this is not a D tier. This is a niche tier. Just because these characters are in this tier does not mean they are bad. They are just niche. I think Cloak is a C tier. She has a very low skill ceiling, which she's really good in low ranks, but in high ranks, she's just not outputting as much healing as let's say Lunar Snow or Invisible Woman. Now Hulk is also in B tier. If you have a good Hulk, he is gonna dominate because of how often there's flying characters, and as a tank he can just catch them with his jump. So there's definitely potential there, and also his team ups are pretty good, but since IronMan lost it, he's gone down a bit. Now IronFist, I think IronFist is C or low B now. He's lost a lot of his movement with his punch enough, but he's still a pretty good character. I don't really see why people are complaining about it. Wolverine, I think, is also S tier because of he just makes tanks tank days. He just makes bullet play. So he's definitely insanely OP right now. It's ever since they nerfed IronFist. I'm gonna put the thing in low B. He was A last time, but since you don't see as much divers often because they're so bad this season, he's really not best because his kit mainly revolves around denying dive characters and movement, but you can't really do that with flying characters, so because they're so prevalent, he's just gone down a bit. Black Widow, I'll put Black Widow in low B because of her new team up and also her insanely good ability to shut down flying characters. She definitely moves up a lot. And Invisible Woman, I think I'll put her in A tier as well. She's just an all-around great healer, great ultimate, great healing output, just great consistency all around. I think I'll put Bucky in S tier, but I think he's around A tier right now, but I'll still put him in S because of the hook. and ultimate. Luna Storm's also S. She is just absolutely insanely broken right now. She's probably like the best character in the game because of the way they changed their kit into like having, they basically took some power out of her ultimate and put it into her kit, which is insane because her kit is really like the best kit in the game. She can output the most healing in the entire game, and she has like the best ultimate in the entire game. So if you're not running Luna Snow, you're just throwing at this point. And she gets a team up with Hawkeye, which his team up is like completely broken right now. So if you just play these guys, you will win a lot of games. Now Captain America, I think he's like B tier. He was A tier like last season, but he's gotten a lot of nerfs, and at this rate, he's still a great tank, but just not the best. So I'll put him on like high B. Venom is also high B, or even A, but he's just an all-around great tank, a really consistent tank. Now Squirrel is another niche character. You don't really see people play this character as often because of like how random and inconsistent her kit is, especially with her ultimate and also projectiles. It's like really weird to play, especially in this flying meta, or supposed flying meta. She just performs really low. Now Thor is also a niche because he needs an ability to cancel his Rune Awakening form, because it's really difficult for him to like balance damage and movement. So I think an ability to cancel his Rune Awakening form would help him a lot, because even though he did get a little change to his survivability and also his hammer, it's still not enough. Poncho is definitely A tier. He's got like the most insane buff this season, especially because of how prevalent flying characters are. He's like really good right now. Got like an insane damage, ultimate, and ammo buff. So now psylocke was like high B. She was almost S tier last season, but now she is definitely B tier because of how like mediocre dives are this season, because she did get a massive nerf to her kit, but she still has an all-around great dive and great ultimate. So I don't even put her like low A. Now StarLord, I just put him in like high A. He's an all-around great DPS. There's really no really bad reason to pick him. Groot, I think he is also S tier because his nerfs didn't really do anything other than nerfing his blocking off capabilities, but that really wasn't the issue. His main issue was his range of his walls and how much damage they actually deal, and since that wasn't changed, he's still absolutely broken right now. Ultron, now this is the big character. This is the big moment. Okay, I think Ultron. Yep, you heard that. I think he's overpowered. Main reason: if you play Ultron, he will enable a completely like insane comp where all you have is just flying characters, and it is insanely annoying to verse 3 or 4 flying characters at once. It's just a completely horrible comp to play against, because flying characters really make like the game you're playing really unfun, especially if you don't have the right characters played, and it just makes like healing annoying, it makes dive annoying, it makes tanks annoyed, and it's just like really badness. So if you really don't want to go against flying characters, just ban Ultron, because his kit completely enables them to be able to do what they do. He's also his ultimate is also really good, and his survivability is really good, and his DPS is really good. So there's really no reason to not play Ultron, but I still think he's outshined by these two healers right here. I think Emma Frost is also S tier because even though she did get nerfed a lot, she get a pretty hefty nerf, it still didn't nerf her overall survivability and diamond form that much. So she's definitely still S tier and still prevalent in this meta. I'm gonna put Moon Knight in niche because of this, I know I was going to say this like a million times, but due to this flying meta, as a projectile-based hero, he's really not the best, but he's still pretty niche. He still has his moment. Rocket is also a pretty good healer. I'll put him in A tier because of like how well his kit is. You know, it's just an all-around really well and consistent kit, and also his survivability is also really good. Also, after that, he has a free res and a really good ultimate. So an A tier is definitely deserved for Rocket. Magneto is definitely, in my opinion, the best tank in this game right now. His kit is just insanely broken with his survivability, shield, and ultimate. He just denies a lot of aggressive plays by the enemy, and also allows your team to be very aggressive, especially DPS, and just completely saving your teammate's life with a bubble. It's really good. Now Scarlet Witch, unfortunately, she is really good right now because of her team up with Doctor Strange, and since Doctor Strange got a buff, she is just really good now, especially because of the flying meta. She just like lasers them down. And Spiderman, unfortunately, he's like a C or niche tier because his team up got removed, but with his team up with Venom got removed, and he's just not having a really good time right now. He's like so bad right now. It's really unfortunate to see this. Like, in my opinion, I think Dio is like one of the funnest playstyles in the game, and seeing them in this kind of state is just really saddens me, because these are like some of the most funnest characters. They're just really bad this season because of how overtuned some of the flying characters are, and also every other character having an anti-dive ability is just really brings down the fun of this game, in my opinion. Though this season is still an overall really great season, so if you like that, you like that. And yeah, that is the end of the video. Now I'm gonna give it a little summary. First, the high value heroes in this season are definitely the flying characters. They are very overtuned right now, and if you wanna like see some improvement in your gameplay, letting a flying hero would benefit you and your team very much so. Another thing to add on is how bad dive is this season. Dive has taken a real bad dive. Okay, that was a really bad joke. Anyways, dive is really bad, so don't really play it. If you are a good dive and you are confident in your ability to successfully dive characters, then play dive. You know, there's nothing really stopping you from doing that. You have free will in this game, except if you're trash. Just don't play dive if you're trash. Healers are still very good, and being a tank in this season is very bad. So yeah, that's the real summary. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and with that out of the way, thank you for watching. I really appreciate what you guys are doing.